5, episode 4 of the Spaceship Zero and the Slave Ship of Despair. I
Ooh.
am your host and ZM, Jeff Foulsham. We are going to go around the table real quick and introduce our players, starting with substances used. Let them know who you're playing.
Hi, I'm that gay guy who slept with your father to get revenge for all the times you bullied me in high school. Dion. But I'm playing Fran Wickerbottom tonight during Spaceship Zero, so none of that is relevant.
Moving along, we have Frenden.
Hi, I'm Frenden. I play in tabletop games and I draw things for them. Also, I'm here tonight playing Flash Lightman, who weirdly kind of bonded with Astral Lube in his cryo chamber and is now kind of like a turbo bro douche nozzle. Kind of art imitating life. Oh.
No, I don't. I disagree.
Cheers.
And it looks like Jentendo also disagrees. Who are you playing tonight, Jen?
Hi, my name is Jen. I am Jentendo on the internets. Tonight I am playing Captain Jan Tandar, who is the captain of the currently docked and held for some reason Spaceship Zero.
Indeed. And rounding out our cast, we have Mr. Dr. Abstracto.
Hello, I am Dr. Abstracto. I'm a doctor, not a pool man.
You can be my pool man.
Indeed. I know. You might need to get those filters cleaned, if you know what I'm saying. And by that, I mean, we opened our pool a couple of weeks ago, and the water's still brown because the filter broke. Anyway, we bring you now into the world, into the far-flung future of the year 2000. Our crew has destroyed the universe and remade it with a new Big Bang. They set their chrono sleep to 13 billion years, and when they returned to the vicinity of Earth, they were captured by froggy fishmen known as hydronauts. They have been thrust into a storage room of sorts filled with giant mining equipment, where they have come across a small society of slaves who seem to have human slaves from whatever version of Earth is in this universe. Luckily, they speak some amount of English, but yes, this tribal group of slaves seem to have multiple generations have been on this ship, and they're very close to camera all the time. They're just always right up in the camera. And assimilating themselves with this society. Our crew is also just always super close to camera all the time.
It's our egos, Jeff. They're the only defense we have.
Last week, they spoke with the tribal elder, who gave them a scroll that had a coded message on it, and our dear Dr. Abstracto was able to decipher the code. It let them know that there was something called, I believe, Project X. That there is some information, Project Smokescreen. And it is from Agent X. Conflating words here, but they have located the password to a data disk that was also given to them. The tribal elder was wearing this data disk as like a medallion around his neck, and they also learned at the end of last session that it was Captain Tandar that gave this to the old man many years ago upon their first meeting. doppelgangers, time travel. How did Tandar give this old man this note in this data disk? Hopefully tonight we will find out. As we head over to the slave pens on the ship, we still have our old man here. We'll kind of make him a little bit smaller. We've got the tribal girl Lula, and we'll make our other characters a little bit bigger here as well, so we can see them all. But at the end of last session, we faded to black as you all started to come up with a plan on how to get out of here. So I would like to pick up where we left off. What's your all's... You've had about, let's say, in-game, maybe an hour, 2 hours, something like that. It hasn't been super long. But it's been long enough for you guys to at least come up with a plan of escape. Just to kind of reiterate what the objectives were at the end of last session. We're trying to get back to the ship in order to decode this data chip, find out what's on there. And also, your doppelganger or your time travel person, or whichever version of you is there before you, said that you were going to bring back help in order to mount an escape. So those are your two things: escape and data disk that the ship can decode. I would like to know what y'all plan to do about getting the heck out of here.
I have an idea. There's a lot of machinery here, right? You checked that all out, right, Flash? All this machinery?
Yeah, them's machines are machines is what I was able to determine.
Alright, does any of it have, like, gasoline or fire starter type agent in it or anything like that?
I did not see that wonderful Prodigy song nestled away in any of the machinery. However, there may be something to start an actual fire.
Well, here's what I'd like to do. I need your help because you're the guy that knows how to take apart machines. I'm gonna give you a list of stuff that I need, and it's gonna be stuff to make a bomb. So I
Okay.
need you to just MacGyver up all the pieces
Yeah.
to a bomb, and then I'm gonna use a bomb at some point. Maybe later, but I want a bomb, and I think we can make one.
So I just want to get this straight. You weren't looking for like a copy of the original Super Mario Brothers film. You mean an actual bomb?
Yeah, that and the original Super Mario Brothers film because it's the best film ever, and you can't convince me otherwise.
You know, that latter point makes me question your decision-making skills. However, I will do what I can to find the components for a splody box.
Thank you.
One of the tribal people nearby hears you and they say, why would they make a movie about Super Mario? He's just Luigi's brother and a sidekick.
This is the
worst
darkest timeline
ever. I put Frenden in the airlock.
Oh no, that's the captain's thing to do
And
as
then
I go into the airlock.
Then I slap Benson for good measure. No. How is Benson doing? Is he holding up all right now?
I don't know. He's holding up a little better for a guy whose favorite character was Luigi to begin with.
Alright, so he's having a better day. That's good. Yeah, that's the only thing I had in mind was I just want something to go boom because I'm good with explosives. So if we can make it, I can use it.
So I'm gonna scour some of that machinery and give it a close scrutinizing. Because I've been known to MacGyver a thing or two in the past, you know, it's kind of my thing. I feel as though these guns are docked and loaded in here. Let's go.
All right, so you want to check out some of this machinery for explosive. Give me a tech know-how
Okay.
to kind of like go through and like figure out all the stuff.
I fail by 36 points. Actually, we upped it by 10, 26 points.
So you having failed your check, you don't find anything on these machines that you think could be explosive, at least not like easily or readily explosive. The mine carts they're not self-powered, they're just
Okay.
things that you pull and push.
Mhm.
And other than that, the like the mine cart, like the bigger machines, like kind of like zoom in over here, like these like big like crab kind of like pincer machines. These and the big drill machines, because there's also I can't really see with all the characters, but there are there's similar machines, but instead of crab pincers, they are like drills on the
I hate
arms.
to interrupt you, but I feel something, a strange exotic substance on one of the machines. It seems like an oil, like it could be a butter, some sort of exotic butter that's given me a new idea and actually granted me a reroll in chat. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll that and try that again. Oh wow, I did one better. So I only need like 25 more rerolls and we'll get there.
Ouch. Oof. Yeah, so almost like cosmically reiterating that there really isn't much in the way of explosive things. You notice that these things definitely run on batteries. Like power cell kind of things. They might be explosive. I won't like take that away from you, but like readily, whether or not if it would be like a laser blast, or you know, maybe they're like a Samsung phone, or like, you know, who knows. But as far as like easily cobbling together a bomb, you're not sure that like the power cells in these things would be useful. And again, it's all alien technology, right? But though, do remind me, you succeeded episode before last. Did you succeed on figuring out how the tram like worked?
No, I think it was so the captain Tandar asked me to look for weapons in the machinery last episode, and I think I failed that one, if I remember right.
With the
Or
episode before, when you guys were brought from the hangar to here.
yeah,
on
because
that
we tried.
cart.
I think he succeeded on the tram, but then we got off the tram before we could do anything with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So knowing how that thing works, you do know how to operate these machines. Looks like the I don't know if it's like a 200 IQ move or like a 20 IQ move, but Hydronaut vehicle technology seems to all work on the same basic control system. So like knowing how to drive those small little trams, you know how to operate these bigger machines as well.
Captain, I would like to give you a crash course in taking the helm on these larger machines, what may aid us in our escape, because you're usually the one in the seat doing the drivey drive, and I'd rather do the fixie fix.
I have been known to drive in the past.
Yeah. And so I'd show the captain the basics of the maneuvering because I think my driving is terrible. I mean, would you trust me to drive you anywhere? Probably not, right? I mean, let's be real.
You never know. So, let's see here. Ooh, thank you for the biddies. I'm thinking maybe a Captain Tandar. How about you give me a tech know-how at a plus 30 because of the help you're getting from Flash. So that your skill score, add 30 to it, and then try and roll under whatever that adjusted amount is.
Okay. And tech know-how is brains?
Yeah.
Or...
Yes.
I believe so.
Okay, so I'm just gonna roll a D100. I guarantee that is not under.
I can't believe that's not under is my favorite light spray.
I think it's like, I think 50 is what I have right now. So I had like a 50-50 shot. Because it's double plus 30. So it would have been 50. No good.
Unfortunate. Yeah, you're really good at knowing how to do Space Corp stuff. But even with a little poking and prodding from Flash, not entirely sure.
I have a routine to roll it again based on Butters. I'm going to try it one more time. Maybe I'll get an 88. That is definitely rolling under. I figured it out.
There you go. So
strange buttery substance is also on the controls.
Why is this place so delicious and like the movie theater?
So cinematic.
Yeah, you know, I think it's because the first humans to come here be enslaved so many generations ago by these aliens, because as Lula explained, she's like 4th, 5th generation on this ship, like never left it. I think the original humans were probably from LA. I think they just scooped up all of Hollywood, and that was these are the descendants of of Hollywood. So everything's covered in movie theater butter.
I like it.
That checks out.
Yep, it checks out. Fact, it's in the. Let's see here in the book. Yep, it's right here on page 349.
Speaking of in the book, I was taking a look at the captain's record, and if one were able to quantify the things that they are good at, like, I don't know, on a sheet that was pertaining to their character, let's say, you definitely have more pilot land than I do, so...
Please roll fourth wall for me. What's your skill in fourth wall?
That's 1d fourth wall. Okay. Yeah.
I failed fourth wall. I rolled it. I failed.
Oh, no.
What does that mean? Does that mean I acknowledge it or I don't?
It means
Deadpool's gonna guest star next week. Is what it means.
Oh,
nice. Ryan Reynolds, very attractive.
I'm gonna have
be
to
great for the channel views.
So much Ryan Reynolds.
I'll just I'll call up one of those like celebrity impersonators, you know. Look at
so
Ryan Reynolds
you'll get Brian Reynolds.
No, you'll get Brian Reynolds, the one of the baseball players for the Pittsburgh Pirates. So knowing that I know how to drive this thing now, going off of what's been suggested before, what I'd like to do is drive this thing through a wall, create a distraction, and we can pick off the Hydronauts as we see them. But I would
you have an option of 2 different vehicles. You have the ones that have the crab pincer things on them. And then there's kind of like for picking up and moving stuff, and then there are ones that have like giant drills instead of crab pincers.
I will probably go with the drill, and I'm just going to drill through walls.
Okay.
Strangely, in this universe, there's just a World War II bomber style painting of Sarah Palin on the side, and it says "Drill Baby," and everyone's like, "Oh no, that joke's way too untimely." But we're locked out of time, so maybe it's not. Maybe
Oh my god.
maybe it's right on time.
I
Is
mean,
what
it
I'm
is
trying
the
to say.
far-flung futuristic year of 2000, so
It's true. Oh.
totally in the future.
Mhm.
It's totally in the future, guys. It's the year 2000. It has to be in the future, right? I mean, we don't have flying cars yet, IRL, so it can't be the year 2000. Or else
Please
the
tell me
Jetsons
that-
would have lied to me, and I don't want to live in that world.
Please tell me that on this ship, and I can't remember his exact name, is it Robbie Smith, the guy who sang the song Millennium, that it's just playing over and over and over again on this ship?
Yeah, it's like how in How I Met Your Mother, Marshall's car had would walk 500 miles like stuck in
Mhm.
the tape deck. It's like that. It's just stuck. You can't
Okay.
can't change it.
Perfect. Love it.
This ship has an 8-track mind.
So what I'd like to do is just create a distraction, start drilling through walls so that the rest of the crew can neutralize the hydronauts and
Okay.
get these folks to safety.
In that case, if you want to, which wall do you want to drill through, or do you want to try and drill through the like garage door? Because there's that garage door looking like corrugated metal kind of door.
Which
that you
way did
came
they
in.
leave?
They would just went back out the way you guys came in.
Then I would go through that garage door.
Okay.
I would go for the first, like the place where I would know the most, or where I thought I saw them go to.
Gotcha. Because there are like because I know last session we talked about like, is there a way to escape through like the hamster water bottle thing that's stuck on the wall, which is definitely big enough for people to like get through. So going through a wall would be an option, but if you want to go through the garage door, we can definitely do that. In which case, you know what? I don't even know how to do this. I don't know if there's like a table for like the resistance of like metal. But let's see here.
It'd probably be how like good the drill is. If the drill is real, like what was the drill
Yeah.
intended for? And if it's intended for drilling through something like corrugated metal, then I should be able to do it because it's a drill.
Right. So the
And if not,
drill-
maybe I could MacGyver something to hype up that drill.
You add a tiny knife to the end of the drill.
Just me? It's like a
It's
salad
a very
fork.
tiny knife. Yeah, it's a very tiny knife.
when used to ram, a driller uses the weapon damage value of the drill in place of its matter. DR. So I have a driller here. I guess that would just be a pilot check? Yeah. Give me a pilot land vehicles check here.
I rolled a 22,
Like 22.
which
That would
I
that's
believe
a
is a-
success, right?
I believe that's a success because most of my stuff is in pilot. Or rather, most of my good stuff is in pilot. It's what? It is a
Yeah, I mean
my pilot land is my pilot land is actually a 30, so I barely rolled under it, but I rolled under it.
That's 30 more books than I read about piloting a land
I read a lot
vehicle.
of books about it. I read a lot of books.
So, looking at the damage value of the driller and the armor value of the slave ship for matter armor, because this is physical damage, it's not energy damage. They're the same number, so I'm thinking, what does that mean? Because
If I hit it twice,
because you subtract the damage of the armor from the. Oh wait, but you add your attack to the damage, so you actually do 22 damage more than what is necessary to take out that door, because that's how damage works. You add
Mr. Gorbachev, take out that door.
So you drill through the garage door, probably I don't know, like a meter or so past like the pointy bits of the drill, and when you make the little crab like thing take a few steps back, there are 2 holes near enough towards the ground so that even Dr. Abstracto could crawl through it, and they are big enough for you guys to crawl through and escape. At this point,
Sorry.
I would say that with the rebar like spears, I know Fran took one, but I'm sure there's enough that all of you could have a rebar spear. There are no projectile weapons. There's definitely no laser guns out in here or anything like that.
Can I not throw the spear?
Oh well, yeah, but I meant a projectile
Okay,
weapon.
okay.
Like, there's no
Okay.
slings with like rocks or anything like that. There's no guns. There's no like ballistic
Okay.
weapons. I should say, but yeah, you can throw this. You can throw the spear. I
so
mean, it is like a chunk of rebar, so it's pretty heavy. But I'll let you throw the spear.
Okay.
so I kind of wanted to just drive this thing around the ship. Like, is it not powerful enough to push through and open that whole door?
Yeah, it could. It would take you like a couple more rounds to like destroy that door completely. I was
okay
just
with that if
giving you
anybody
like
comes
the
up to me.
first ram gives you 2 holes and big
Okay.
enough for you guys to get through. But if you want to like destroy that door, yeah, it'd take you probably a few seconds to a minute.
I'm making
maybe.
lots of noise.
Oh yeah, you're making tons of noise. In
Yes.
fact, as soon as you even do that in general, even before you fully even get over to the door, alarms start sounding. If you remember last session, Abstracto, I think it was the one who saw into this darkened, like glassy window up here and saw that there were people watching you. This is like an observatory, like viewing room to keep an eye on the slaves so that you guys don't, well, do this, cause run amok, as they say. So yeah, before you even get through the door, like alarms are already going off, so you know that people are gonna be here soon. You just don't know how soon. And I don't either, which is why I'm gonna roll this. Alrighty. That's a number. Cool.
Roll to see if somebody accidentally steps in front of my drill and dies. Wee! I'm going to murder someone with my drill. It's my drill.
This is not a drill.
Benson.
Oh,
It was
Okay.
Benson all along.
there's a little Benson inside of us. I mean that literally, because particles of his body are now floating through the air, and we've surely breathed them in.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna make that joke, but you guys just made it for me. So, with Benson's
Glad-
brains splattered all over the dune. Oh,
Yeah,
but, if
win some, you
Benson
lose
died, who would you make fun of and torture other than me? Okay, so you tear open a hole in the wall or in the garage door, big enough for people and the drill machine to leave. You are faced with a large hallway, obviously big enough to fit a couple of these things down it. These drilling machines, mine carts, trams and stuff. It's wide enough that you could probably ride, two abreast down this thing with these big drill machines, right? because it's like basically like a two-way street. Darkened. There's like glowing moss kind of like covering the walls in spots, kind of dimly lighting this place. It's wet. The metal's kind of rusting in places. It smells, of the like rotting fish and kale, or not kale, sorry, rotting fish and kelp, like seaweed, like very oceany smelling in here. It's not great. And I would like everyone to make they have see and they have hear checks. I'll let you choose which one you guys want to use, because they don't have just a generalized perception check, and I don't know how I would do a generalized perception check. So I'll let you choose the better of see or
I pass
hear.
either.
I pass.
Okay.
I can't hear anything because my machine's making so much noise.
Fair enough.
Drill cargo.
Yeah, I'm too busy focusing on having to repair anything that happens on this machine, and I don't see or hear nothing.
I love this idea of these machines have been sitting there, and these poor people have been like, watch us get on it and then just ride it through the wall,
Yeah.
and they're like, what is happening? Our home.
Yeah. I do like the
Yeah.
idea too, additionally, like in addition to that, like, oh no, our home, there's also, y'all could have just hit a button on this thing for like the last 20 years and maybe tried to it's fine. No, I'm sure it's cool.
Unfortunately, there are no buttons. There's like no control panel like in this room. The doors are operated by a remote control that the hydronauts keep on their person. So it would have like required some kind of coup or something, and these people, as we learned last week, maybe not the smartest people. They're kind of like been reduced to maybe like caveman levels of intelligence here. They're not the brightest. But
I drive off into the sunset. Everybody else needs to do what they're gonna do.
yeah. So you start taking your drill machine down the hallway here. Fran and Abstracto, because Abstracto, you said you passed, right?
Yep.
You two can either see or hear something off in the distance, whether it's like marching footsteps or a sort of like of like the hover kind of machine or something like that. But there are enemies incoming within a round or two because of the advanced notice of the preview or the observatory like above, like watching.
So we hear which hallway they're coming down.
There's only one. There's just one long ass
Alright.
hallway, and
So
it ends in like a T.
Alright, so I just point and I go, Captain, go down this way. There's enemies coming from there. Go mess them up with your drill.
I do it.
All right.
Wrenching on the back of the thing.
If there's no other preparations that anyone would like to make, we can just roll into initiative, and we'll start with drills coming up against whatever's coming down the hallway.
All right, rolling that beautiful initiative footage. Oh,
doesn't sound like it's anything else.
Oh, goddamn, Captain and Flash rolling rocks.
We're gonna do Abby, Fran, Tandar, Flash, enemy 1, 2, and I don't feel like looking up their initiative, so I'm just gonna put in what they got. Oh, well, I'll put 1 out of 7. 2, 7, and 8, and then Flash got an 11. Captain Tandar got a 10. Friends at 2. And 4. I'll put 1 then. Alright, and descending. So that is going to lead us to Flash being up first.
Okay, I'm on the back of the machine that the captain is driving, and my understanding is that it's like barreling towards these fishmen's.
Yeah. So as you guys round a corner, you see 2 hover cars. Like almost like crash into them because they're like coming around the corner. You're coming around a corner, like they're like right there. And you can see farther down the hill, maybe less than 4 rounds away. You would there's like a larger hover tank coming as well, given that they knew you were in this drill thing.
Captain, I know you're trying to hit these folks, so what I'm going to do is examine this equipment and attempt to juice every bit of HP I can out of it. And I don't mean like character HP, I mean like HP like horsepower. But they probably ain't got horses there. Maybe it's like sea horsepower. Anyhow, Captain, I'm going to try to make this thing go fast so we can hit these 2 faster and harder.
All right. So we'll actually let's see here. I think we'll call this an attack. But given how you are trying to like help out like the damage and stuff, I think we can make a technical build repair, because that's more of the actual tinkering kind of move.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll go with that.
I beat that by 30.
Cool. So let me look up
Is that a 0 skill?
It is for me, yes.
You
you
get
get a
a
0
0 dice because
I get a max of 1, so I think my character class gets a max 1, unfortunately.
Oh.
Yeah, that's like I don't even bother to keep track until I use my die, basically.
Fair.
Yeah.
There.
So you start to deal a whole bunch of damage to one of the hover cars. Let me grab notebook here to write this down. But just like I said earlier, there's enough room for these things to ride side by side down the hallway. So these things are basically neck and neck with each other coming at you. Do you want to do damage to the left one or to the right one? They're both the same at this point. They each have 4 hydronauts on the hover car. You don't know how many more bodies are on the hover tank in the distance, but each of these 2 hover cars has 4 enemies on it. So 8 total enemies right now.
I'm gonna just roll D100 for high-low because I know the captain was aiming at somebody,
Gotcha.
and so high is right, low is left. The left one is what I gun this thing up at.
All right.
Put extra juice in the caboose, Captain. I did it.
That takes us in. Wow. You I don't know how I don't know how massive amounts of damage work on machinery. But Toren Atkinson, what's the ancient one doing right now? The ancient one is probably staying back in the storage area in the slave pens, because he's old and not a fighter. Currently, I don't have a picture of. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture of like the vehicles. But I could move us over here into the hallway. And get rid of, oh god, these. Nope, wrong one. Damn it! All these layers. Here, let's get rid of the little those things for now. Those don't matter. All right, so we've got this like hover car thing, right? So that's sort of the thing, but just imagine there's like 4 bad guys on there, because you guys are in the hallways now. I'm gonna say that due to just the massive amount of damage that you dealt to this vehicle, and I can't make an endurance check, so I'm just gonna roll a 50-50 shot here. You might just disable this. Yeah, so you disabled this vehicle. Just straight up. You deal so much damage to it. It hits the engine, and this thing just... it hits the ground and kind of slides across the floor.
There are no more small furry creatures, also known as sables, on this vehicle. I have disabled it. They didn't weasel out of this one.
I think Jen might be muted.
Well, good night, everybody. No, I knew I was muted. I was just shouting.
I have disabled the captain as well. I stole the captain. Stole me. Disables, never.
Dear God.
All right. So that is going to take us over to, as the hover car slides across the floor for like 5 feet or so, just a couple of yards. We take over we go over to Captain Tandar.
I mean, I'm ramming speed into the one that's still going. I'm drilling it right in its face.
All right, so for you, I'm gonna have that be another pilot land check to.
Not gonna be great. God help us
guide
all.
this.
Oh my God, it's the exact number.
That's a critical hit, and I do believe in
And you get a 0 die.
Yeah, you get a
It's
0
not my.
die.
It's not as. Do I?
I mean, is
Anytime
it a
you roll
skill?
a 0.
Well, it's a 0.
It's not a 0.
It's not a skill. It's not a 0.
Oh,
skill.
It's not a
okay.
0 skill for me, no.
Okay, right. My bad.
It's okay.
I do believe in this game the only thing is that it's just a hit, and because it's an attack, it's going to deal maximum damage. I'm not sure if there's anything else special about critical hits in this game. I think their function is like when you have an adjusted score, and it like might normally fail, you still succeed on the critical hit. But you're gonna deal
That's good.
Max damage, or maybe it like bypasses like armor or something like that for an attack. But
all of these things. Also, you get a free pizza delivered to your home.
yeah,
My
so
God, thank
Love
you.
pizza.
needless to say, because it's a critical hit, though, I'm not even gonna roll the machine endurance or whatever like 50-50 thing. You disable this other hover car, which also slides a little bit as it hits the ground as it falls out of the hover mode. These two carts are kind of like, they're not interlocked, but they are like abutted against each other, making a little bit of like a barrier in this hallway. The other machine coming down the hall does look like a tank, so you're not exactly sure whether or not this barrier is going to be effective against a much larger thing. But you know, you never know.
I'll die trying. Let's see what everyone else is doing.
Alrighty,
Trying to
that's
die.
gonna bring us over to enemy 3, which I in my head was the tank. The tank looms ever closer. Those of you that are good at hearing or just have good hearing, you start to hear something like boot up or start to like whir a little bit. It sounds like the hover tank might be like charging
She's gonna
up
blow.
or something. Yeah.
She's getting ready to blow.
All right. So yeah, you start to hear something kind of go like. You don't know what's gonna happen, but it's preparing to do something. That'll bring us over to a group of enemy hydronauts. Now, Flash, you said you were on the back.
Right.
Obviously, Captain Tandar's inside of the hover tank. Where are Fran and Dr. Abstracto? You guys also have about a half dozen tribal warriors with you. And Benson is also there, but he doesn't have a weapon. And Ashton is also there, but she doesn't have a weapon. They're there just because they're part of the crew, and they're assuming that you're trying to make it back to the ship, and they don't want to be left behind.
Those of you that are unarmed, I would like to remind you that at all times, rhythm is a weapon.
It's also a dancer.
I know.
I'm behind Jen's little drill tank thing. I'm staying out of the way, but I'm keeping within like eyesight in case I need to yeet this rebar at something.
Okay. How far back are you from the tank, did you say?
Probably like 10 feet back and 10 feet to the left or whatever, like almost hugging the wall.
Okay. So we're gonna kind of split this up here a little bit. We're gonna have one of the hydronauts. See here. I don't think swimming is gonna come into play or intimidation. So one of the hydronauts is gonna get up onto. Actually, two of them are gonna get up onto the drill machine. One of them is going to attack Flash, and one of them is gonna make a heave check to try and open the glass dome to get inside and get at Captain Tandar. And then the other two from the let's just say the right cart. That one's going to the other two are gonna go after Fran and Abstracto. Well, let's see here. First, we'll make a weapon melee attack at Flash with the little cattle prod thingy. That's going to be a miss. And then the heave check to break into the driver's compartment is also going to miss. Then the other two are going to make respectively Fran and then Abstracto. So Fran, a 28 and a 16. Both of those are going to hit. So let me look up what the little human prod does as damage. Neither of you guys are wearing armor, I don't think. So that would mean no energy resistance. Where is the thingy? Primitive weapons? No. Not. Alright, so it does a base of 15. Alright. So Fran, you're gonna take 43 damage, and Abstracto takes 31 body points of damage. Actually do that. Alright, so that is the first car of enemies, and that's gonna go to Abstracto here.
Dr. Abstracto is going to, I guess, put his dukes up and try to punch the person that attacked him.
Alright, that would be a fisticuffs roll. Unless you have a... well, you have a melee weapon, I think, as well. Unless you literally are just putting up your fists.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think your fisticuffs is going to do 9 plus strength damage. Obviously reduced
so
by
30.
whatever... where are the armors? Oh, here we go. How much damage did you deal to him?
30.
30. Okay. Those are guys were from the right. 1. All right. So you're knocking them around a little bit. You don't do too much damage. They are in spacesuits that they're a little padded, so not all of your punching damage like gets through, but you knock them around a bit. Fran, it is your turn.
Yes, I'm gonna yeet this rebar into the face of the person that attacked me. That is a success with the throw of 30, so I got a 24.
Nice.
So how
Alright.
much damage does this rebar do?
Let's go back a page. Here.
Also, I'm using a 0 dice so that I can turn this regular success into a critical success, because
Nice.
I want it to be a lucky shot.
Okay. So spears are gonna be 15 plus strength.
So 15 plus strength, and then when it
Plus-
crits, is it just the total, like 30?
Yeah, it would just be like whatever your
Okay.
attack score
15 strength and 30 is
45.
53 total.
is 53 total. All
Yeah.
right. Which one are you? You're going after just the one that like attacked you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Blood for blood.
Blood
A
and
thigh
blood
for a
out.
thigh.
Thigh for a
Alright.
thigh. Oh, that just makes me hungry for wings.
Mm.
Which is good because we've been winging it all night.
Make a little note about who's going after whom. All right. You. Actually,
I wanna.
You?
Can I? Okay, if
you're
possible,
doing a
I'm
lucky
aiming for their.
strike.
Yeah, I'm aiming for the head.
Yeah.
Like the glass helmet. That's what I'm aiming for.
Makes sense.
You're using a 0 die. How many 0 dice do you have?
Now 0.
Okay.
I only had one from the start of the session.
Okay. So your blow cracks the bubble helmet. Water
Yes.
starts spilling everywhere. This guy starts freaking out. He's not dead, and he doesn't just like immediately die. But you know, you imagine that he's like, if these creatures could hold their breath, he's gonna have until he holds his breath, and then he's gonna start suffocating, basically, unless he can
So he's busy.
retreat or do something along those lines. The other group of enemies from the cart that was on the left hand side, they kind of rally. They hop out of the machinery, and they are going to two of them. I don't know if you can hold actions in this game, but I'm gonna say that you can. Two of them are going to hold actions to defend against whether or not like people try and attack the other two. But the two who aren't like readying to defend this other group, those other two are going to make tech rolls to try and get underneath the drill machine and try and disable it. Like rip out its power core or cut some wires or something, because this is like a crazy powerful like machine that could easily just take a swipe of its drill and like take them out as like little
going to run over them.
Alien creatures.
They're climbing under my vehicle while I'm driving it.
So it's like it's on little legs. It's not like on treads or anything.
Okay.
They're little legs, like little kind of little crab legs. In fact, the machines themselves look like crabs, except instead of some have like giant mechanical pincers, and the other ones have like little drills instead of pincers. But they're kind of disc shaped, and they're on like 4 little legs. So yeah, there's plenty of space to stand underneath them safely. Now you could, if they don't disable your thing here, you could try and like spear them, because they are pointy legs. They're not like flat. They are pointy.
The feet look as though Rob Liefeld drew them.
Yes, they do. So what we're gonna do here is they actually don't have tech skills, which is fine. They're not too smart. These or wait, maybe they do. No, they do. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong stat. So yeah, I'm gonna make 2 tech build repair. If one makes it, then cool. If the other, that one fails, and the second one also critically fails. So all right. So because he critically failed, the first one trying to like pull the cover off of like the engine compartment, and he can't do it. He's like struggling. The other one, who sees his partner struggling, also reaches up to try and like just wrench this thing open so they can get to the inner workings of this thing and disable your crab little drill machine. And what ends up happening is the extra force pops it free. The door's on like a hinge, right? So it comes down. It smacks the first guy in the helmet. He gets thrown off balance, and then it ricochets off his helmet and closes again. They've made no ground, and the other one's just knocked off balance. And that is going to bring us back to Flash.
Good job spearing them fish. You stuck those fish real good. Them's fish sticks now. And I will try to leap off the back and give a kick to the one that I saw Abstracto attacking.
Okay.
And that fisticuffs, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just like karate, melee, fisticuffs. Stuff,
Oh, I really don't do that at all. I failed to do that. Some might say. I was on a roll there too, but I failed.
So that'll bring us up to, as you jump off, you miss. You don't. It's not critical fail, so you're not prone or anything like that. You just don't connect with your kick. That brings us to Captain Tandar. There is a guy who is trying to get into your
Stab him
compartment.
with the feet. No guy gets into my compartment. I would like to stab him with the feet.
Well, there's one on top of the machine trying to get into the driver's compartment, and then there's 4 of them underneath trying to get into the engine compartment underneath this ship.
Yeah, I'm probably going to, can I just I would like to make it like you said it has legs, right?
Mhm.
I'm going to crush everything that's underneath me. I'm just going to drop straight down to the ground.
All right. Just maneuvering the legs so they just go out, and then the whole machine falls down.
Yep.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. I'm just gonna give them. I'm gonna make a dodge roll for them. And if they don't make the dodge roll, well, this is a giant multi-ton machine, so
you can dodge your wrenching.
Luckily, they ain't smart, so 4 of them, one of them makes it. Even a 27 is not low enough for their dodge in this. So one of them, the one who's off balance because he got hit in the head and he took a few steps back, falls and falls on his back just out of the curve of the bottom of this ship. Literally, as the ship comes, this drill thing comes crashing down, his foot, the tip of his foot may be that far against the curve of the ship. It's super close, super close, within an inch of this guy even getting his feet crushed. The other 3, they're doing their best impression of the Wicked Witch of the West. They're just crushed under this heavy weight of machinery.
Wasn't that the Wicked Witch of the East?
Well, whatever. I haven't seen that movie in forever.
There's also a lot of buttery water that's shooting out of this vehicle. They're melting.
So strange.
They're crab people now. We're dipping them in exotic butter. They're delicious.
They've been smashed into cakes. We did describe that exotic butter on every surface.
That you did. All right.
That's what I do.
Vehicle weapons.
Now I'm hungry.
I know, me too, right? Crabs and butter, please.
All right, so let me. What is the attack skill here?
It is a 0.
Liar.
You can trust me. I'm a doctor.
Doesn't wait.
Toren says, "I'm back. Are we winning?"
Yeah. So Captain Tandar, the way I designed the drilling machines is that they look like mechanical crabs. So instead of rolling on wheels or something, they got little 2 pairs of legs on either side, and Tandar just kind of went bloop, just bloop with the legs, and the whole thing crushed 3 of the hydronauts. What I'm looking for right now is how skilled at weaponry are the hover tanks. because I don't see a skill for them. Is there like a... Is there like a cheat sheet for the actual attack skill? I know how much damage the weapons do, but I don't know what the actual like attack skill would be for them. Oh, who's driving it? Gotcha. Okay, so it goes off of that. Okay. In that case, let me go back here. It would just be a Hydronaut, so... oof. Alright, these are probably gonna miss. But the hover tank has two like little cannon thingies. You heard it charging up earlier. It's gonna make 2 attacks at the drill machine here. A failure and another failure. Just the shots go wide, and they you know what? I'm gonna roll. Where's my D20? I'll make a secret roll here. All right, that is barely not a crit fail. That was a 2. It blasts a hole through the wall of the hallway here. But luckily for you, because I didn't crit fail on that roll, it is into another interior room. It's not the outer wall of the ship. So you guys aren't just sucked into the vacuum of space, luckily.
Sweet release.
But yeah, there's like another like room. It's kind of dark. You can't really see into it. But if someone wanted to go investigating, we can figure out what room that might be. That with a blast of that, enemy 2 is the group that was going against Fran and well, they're trying to get in. Abstract. Sorry, yeah. I'm looking at numbers and trying to talk. It's very difficult.
Whisper his name.
Going against Fran and Abstracto, and the one that was on top, the 2 that were on top of the crab thing. I think, you know what? First, let's make a dodge check for them to see if they stand upright, because they were just on top of the machine that just dropped out from under them. Neither of them succeed, so those 2 are on the ground. They're gonna spend their turn getting up because they're fat and round and not good at moving. And then the other 2 are going to continue to attack their original targets. So 78. I believe that is in order would be Fran and then Abstracto. I think the 20 is going to hit for 35 damage. Let me just double check the melee weapon here. Yeah, that is going to hit. Alright, so you take 35 energy damage, Fran,
Ow.
as the human prod, the cattle prod, electric little taser thing, just right into your solar plexus.
Alright, I have 2 wounds, and I don't look too great.
Well, that is going to bring us over to Abstracto.
Abstracto screams, "How dare you striketh thy lady!" and swings at the one that hit Fran.
Would you say he does so frantically?
And I hit. Yeah, I totally frantically.
All right. What's your strength?
21.
21. All right.
Oh.
Hmm. 69. Technically more than that, but the number of health they have includes 69 now. Yeah, you just where and how do you fisticuffs this thing cattle prodding Fran?
Right in his groin.
Right in his groin. Alrighty. You kind of like sneak around the you kind of come up to the side of him and kind of do like a hook punch right into the groin. I mean, it's right at your perfect level, so
Right.
yeah. He
That's what I
kind
was
of
thinking.
it's like oh. Apparently, these things do have some kind of sensitive something down there. Even through
Fishman's
the
got
giant,
nards.
even through the giant water-filled suit.
Fishman, fucking fuck.
I mean,
You got him right in the fish sticks.
you did see. I think there was a hybrid that you guys saw before, so definitely something.
Fishman,
to think
fucking
about.
fuck.
This is gonna bring us over to Fran.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to roundhouse kick this motherfucker, Chuck Norris style.
Right over Abstracto's head.
Actually, you know what? No. Can I use fisticuffs to disarm him of his cattle prod?
I mean, you can try.
Okay. I'm gonna try and fisticuffs the cattle prod away. I'm gonna use my reroll. I succeed.
All right, you grab
20 out of
on.
30.
You grab on with your fisticuffs. So you grab onto the thing. Now it's gonna be an opposed heave check to see if you can actually wrench it away from them.
Okay, so heave.
Can anybody help with that?
Not in this case, I don't think. You'd have to like be able to like grab onto it as well.
Yeah,
And I don't know how that would
failed.
happen in well, luckily, so did they. So you're sort of just in this moment like struggling against them. Neither of you is able to free it from the grip of the other.
Okay.
But you could definitely like retry it on your next turn without, or actually they'll probably try and get it away from you on their turn, and if it still doesn't, you could be able to retry it again without the fisticuffs next time. Enemy group 1, 3 of them are dead. The other one is going to who was knocked over, kind of trying to avoid the falling ship, is going to spend this turn standing up, which brings us back to Flash.
All right. So, the one that got groin smashed, it's down, right? Or no?
No, it is currently in a struggle with Fran's trying to take its cattle prod away from it.
Okay. While Fran is trying to do that, I'm going to attempt to dome him in the helmet with the bottle of astral lube. That seems like something I'd do. It's probably just a
Alright.
fisticuffs roll, but that's what I'm using to do it.
Fair enough. There's actually think there's actually a club
Okay.
weapon.
I've been known to have bottle service at the club.
Let me see here.
Flash at the club.
So yeah, it would be a melee weapon roll. Yeah, and there is a club. This is 10 plus strength for damage.
Okay. Nice.
So 10 plus 12, so 22 plus strength.
My strength is 30.
Alright. So You said the one going against Fran, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You must roll to go clubbing.
Oh shit.
Math is hard. Okay.
It is.
That. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So you smash the bottle over its head. I don't think the bottle of lube is enough to crack open the the helmet. But this thing. Oh wait, the thing's helmet is already broken. That's right. So yeah, he's just trying to get his weapon back. You actually hit him in the head. Which causes him to expel his held breath, water, whatever. Yeah, water. So like water kind of shoots out of his gills. That's probably not how their anatomy works, but I think it's funny. And yeah, this thing goes from looking mildly worried to like, oh fuck, this is no, I can't. Okay, I gotta. This is not good. And we'll go over to Captain Tandar now. Still in your little crab drill machine. It's currently on its belly. 3 dudes crushed underneath it. One guy standing up right in front of you, who didn't get crushed in front of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna drill him. I'm gonna
try and drill him. All right, give me a pilot
Drill him
check
so hard.
for that.
Okay. I do not drill him. But I would like to use one of my 0 dice to make it happen.
Cool. Yeah. So that is going to not quite take him out because he hasn't been damaged yet, and he has oddly enough, these things have more HP than the door did. But since you're currently just making that a success, you only get a +1 to the damage of the drill. Which brings us down to that. He looks pretty fucked up. Like, he looks real fucked up. You probably shatter his helmet, you tear his suit, and it's just spilling water everywhere.
Demoralize him.
This dude is not looking happy at all. Then the tank is now pretty much on top of the fight here. And it is going to fire its 2 lasers. Again, it's going to try and hit the Captain Tandar's little drilly thing here. And so we've got 44 and a 6. I don't think the 44. No, the 44 but it's close, but it doesn't hit. But the 6 will hit. And now I gotta figure out how much. I know how much damage it does. I need to figure out how much. Where's the armor for the drilling machine? The driller has energy reduction of 40. So the disintegrator cannon, 6. All right, and the thing has 300 body points. All right, Jen, do you want to write down that you have 300 body points for your drill machine? And it has 70 in its matter armor and 40 in its energy armor. So that's how much you reduce incoming damage by. This thing deals to you with its laser blast. With that 40 reduction, it deals 36 body points to your vehicle.
So I am at 314 body points on my vehicle.
Austin 314.
Well, you'd be down to 264, right?
Yeah, the matter and the energy things are just like a flat minus to the damage that you take.
Yeah,
Sorry,
so
I
I
thought you said-
calculated that in.
I thought you said 350 was the body.
Sorry, no, it's 300 for the body points.
Okay, I thought you said 350.
Yeah. Sorry. Nope.
Okay.
That cannon's base damage is 70, so reduced by the 40. That's those guys. Enemy group 2 is the ones not crushed by the thing. Did you pilot it back to standing position? Or are you still on the belly?
I think I had to pilot it back to standing so that it could, like, I assumed it's like a stand up.
Okay.
And then I attempted to drill and I missed the drill. So I'm standing now.
Cool. So yeah, you got all of you not in the drill machine. I don't think you would notice it too much, Captain Tandar, but there may have been just a little bit of resistance as the sticky kind of viscera like slurps as you like stretch the body, blood and gross guts and stuff, kind of like swinging and hanging off the bottom of this thing. It's pretty not cool to like see this. Two of the enemies here are out of like helmet and suit. So the one that you were fighting, Fran, whose helmet is out and who just got that water knocked out, whatever. That one is actually going to let go of the human prod. It's going to disengage from you. Which I don't think there's no opportunity attacks or anything, but it's going to disengage from you and is going to run over to one of the dead bodies. And I'm going to roll, if I roll low on this, it will succeed in finding an unbroken helmet. That is very high. That is a 96. All of those helmets crashed. This guy's probably not gonna make it back to some like safe place without like passing out, but he's just fleeing. He's fleeing now, as well as enemy 1, which the other three of that group is dead, but I know he comes later, but still those two are going to be fleeing. And the other 2 or 3, I guess, there was one. So let me cross that out. Cross this out. There was one that was fighting Abstracto, and there was 2 that haven't been like engaged yet. Those guys are going to. Let's see. I think those guys are going to turn their focus on the drill machine. This thing's super dangerous. And yeah, they're going to try and climb on top of this thing and
Working as intended.
break into the pilot's cabin here. So let me see here. Because there are 3 of them trying to get up onto this thing all at the same time, all from the same direction, I'm going to first make them do a. I don't think there's like acrobatics or anything. There's fisticuffs, there's sneak. Heave, perhaps? Maybe I'll have them try and heave themselves up onto the top side of the drill machine here. One of them makes it. The other 2 don't and just fall backwards and land on their butts. So the one who makes it up there, who climbs up there, is now going to try and heave his way, like try and pry the little dome, the glass dome off, so that he can then hop inside with you, Tandar. He does not heave open the glass dome. So one of them is now up on top with you, Tandar, trying to get into the glass dome. The other two just fell off and onto their backs, and they are prime for attacking. If you guys wanted to like stab them with the spears or something, or kick them while they're down, they're vulnerable, so you'll have a plus 30 to your skill scores to attack the two that are prone. That takes us to Abstracto.
So the guy that was attacking me is still there, correct?
Yeah, if you want him to be, we can say one of the other two was one of the ones that climbed up.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll see.
I'm gonna take a swing at him.
So yeah, the
And
one
I
who
miss.
was actually
I'm
on
gonna reroll.
top before is now on top again. You're gonna reroll?
I missed my
Alright.
first swing. I'm gonna reroll.
Cool, we got the
And I
take
missed
two.
again.
Yeah, you know, some of that exotic butter is just not helping out this time, and you're just slipping and sliding all over the floor. Not able to steady yourself enough to attack effectively. Fran, there are two guys prone, and there's one on top of the drill machine with Captain Tandar, and then there's also the giant hover tank.
Yes. I'm gonna look over to Flash Lightman and just
Howdy.
wave the cattle prod and be like, "Come and get it. You're probably better at these than I am." As I use a fisticuffs roll to use my stiletto and stomp through the helmet of one of the things. Because you said I get a plus 30?
Yeah, you get a plus 30 because they're prone and they're vulnerable.
Ah! There's a 60% chance and it missed. Okay.
You're too busy handing the baton off is the problem.
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
still
yeah.
offering the cattle prod to you while I'm
Mhm.
doing this and I miss. He like
Bummer.
rolls over or something. I don't know.
It happens.
Yeah.
All right,
that's it.
so enemy one at this
Oh,
point, he.
wait. Toren, give me a reroll.
Nice.
I feel blessed and I failed anyways. I've let you down, Dad. I'm sorry.
Oh no! Go from a 92 to a 97. Ugh.
This feels too much like real life.
Do
That's
you
okay,
have any
everyone's down.
zero? Do you have any zero dice?
I have zero dice. Does that mean I have unlimited amount?
No, that does not mean that.
But
Did you
it's-
get yours for the session? Because don't
Yeah,
we get
I
one?
used it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good.
All right. So the guy who survived being crushed, he did get wounded though. Because you re-rolled the drill. That's right. So yeah, he's also out of his like suit and fleeing. Because the rest of you guys are behind the drill and everything, he's like hopping over the carts and he's like fucking off. He probably won't get too far either unless he can get into like the hover tank or something. But he's basically out of the fight, so I'm deleting him, and that brings us back to Flash.
Armed with the cattle prod now, I'm going to take aim at one of the prone ones, which will give me 30 additional margin of error. And I do make it. I make it by about 15 or so.
God damn. All right.
18 or so, actually. Yeah.
All right. So you're hitting
one of the prone ones,
the prone ones. The cattle prod. Jesus Christ, 72.
I've seen how you fish come apart, and you're just a bunch of flakes. I say as I swing.
I like that. 109 personal weapons.
I gilly spent a
Human
lot
prod
of
is
time that one.
15. Their damage. Oh, that's easy enough. All right, so they reduce that by 5, so 15 goes down to 10. 10 plus 72 is 82. You want to go after the one that's been hurt a little bit, or the one that hasn't been hurt at all?
I like knowing that one of them had been hurt. If I knew that information, my character would have probably gone after the one that was hurt. I would think. Like if I see some cracks in that bowl, that's the one I'm smashing.
Yeah. All right. So 82. That is a grievous wound or whatever. So he's got to roll endurance. 42. What's his endure check?
I look at him and I say, generally speaking, you've made a grievous error.
5. He does not pass out, but you think he's probably out of the fight anyway, because you do so much damage that his suit is no longer able to hold water, and he's probably gonna have to retreat anyhow. But I still have to do math because numbers is hard. But while that happens, we'll move on to Captain Tandar. Let's see. That number. We'll go with that. That's close enough. It's within 5. It's close enough. Captain Tandar, what's you got the guy on top trying to get into your little glass dome. You can see that Flash just cattle prodded, smashed open a helmet. That guy's probably gonna get up and run away. There's one other dude prone, kind of just rolling around, who doesn't look like he's been hit. But then there's also the giant tank in front of you that's been shooting lasers and stuff at your...
I'm heading straight for the tank to drill it.
Okay, give me a pilot check first. You have to climb up and over the disabled carts, little tram cart thingies that you guys took out in the beginning of the fight.
I have a reroll. I'm going to use that reroll. And that still doesn't get it. And I have 1 0 dice left, so I'm using that.
All right, cool. So yeah, you climb up and over. It's kind of awkward. You know, the legs on this thing aren't quite the bottom of the drilling machine is actually just a little bit lower than the height of the grounded tram. So you it's very awkward to try and climb up and over this because the legs don't really get up that far, right? But it's awkward and it's silly looking. And the Hydronaut kind of just grabs onto the dome as you do this, so he doesn't fall off, and you take him with you. You make it to the other side of the things. If you want to try and drill it, go ahead and make another pilot check to try and drill into the tank.
Okay. No.
All right. You're at least there, though.
Is it possible for me to have, when I have maneuvered myself, to maneuver myself in a way that doesn't put me in direct line of the cannon that it's shooting at me?
Yes, but they can pivot.
Okay. Am I on it? Am I climbing on it? I imagine with the crab legs that I'm climbing on top of it.
I would say you're not climbing on the tank yet. That would, but you could climb up onto it next round. You're kind of just moving close enough that you could have drilled into one of the sides or something like that. But yeah, you could definitely climb up on top of the hover tank next round if you wanted to, but you don't hit it. It is it's its turn. I'm going to roll a die in secret here to see. I'm gonna drop that die off my desk and use a different one.
Friends don't have secrets.
So that, well, I don't know if you guys can see. I rolled a 1. I don't know if you could see that. It was all blurry and it's black and white. I rolled a 1, which means that is not, you're too close to the machine for it to fire upon you. The barrels sticking out are not bendable. They can pivot, sure, but you're closer to it than the end of the barrel. So what that means is these things are actually we're gonna take 2 shots at the crew instead. There is, let's see, there's Abstracto and Fran and Flashlightman, and then there is also Benson and Ashton as part of like the dramatic crew. I'm gonna roll a d6, and if it comes up a 6, it'll be one of the like tribal warriors. Otherwise, 1 through 5 is Fran, Abstracto, Flash, Benson, Ashton, in that order. D6 is a 2, so Fran Abstracto is going to be the target of the first one, and 6, a tribal warrior is going to be the target of the second one. Let me go back here to heavy weapons skill. That's a miss on Abstracto and a miss on the tribal warriors. They go wide, they kind of hit the floor. They do some damage to the floor, but you guys are safe for now. Enemy 2, the
Had me
one
shaking in my little pants.
enemy group 2. We've got that one runs away. That had been got cracked open. Last turn he turns and runs away. There was one on the ship, or on the drill with Captain Tandar, and one that was prone. The guy prone is going to struggle to get up because, you know, suit full of water. He's going to stand up, and then the other guy is going to make a heave check to try and get into the piloting compartment with Captain Tandar, and that one is going to succeed.
I was going to ask, whenever I was climbing over that stuff, did that like rock him off? Because that was a hard move over top of that. I wasn't sure if he managed to
I did
cling
say that
on
he,
to it.
I did say that he held on to the dome that time.
Okay.
And went with you, yeah. So he's going to hop. He pops it open and he hops in. That's his action. He doesn't get a chance to attack you this round, but he is now in there with you. And he's gonna pull out his like cattle prod, human prod thing, from the sheath on his back. But that is going to take us over to Abstracto. There's the guy's no longer prone. He is standing on his 2 fishy feet.
All right. Well, Abstracto is worried about Fran's wounds. And so Abstracto is going to try to apply some first aid.
All right. So you're gonna start that this round, and then if you don't get interrupted, that'll go through at the end of your next turn.
Okay.
Because it takes 2 turns in combat to apply first aid.
Okay.
All right. Maybe that brings us over to Fran.
I am going to lovingly accept the first aid,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna try and keep myself in between Abstracto and anything that comes at us, and I'm going to enact my full amount of dodge bonus.
All right. Flash Lightman, it's back to you. I suppose it's up to you to protect them from any potential attacks coming from this last fishman, frogman, hydronaut near you.
Okay, so there's one left near me. I am going to...
He has not been hit at all yet.
Okay, let me read one thing on my dude real quick, knowing that he's not hit at all. So I can temporarily repair or modify a piece of equipment once per session using miscellaneous items I have on hand.
Sure.
I'd like to modify his suit by jamming the Astral Lube into the feed tank for the fluid, so that way he's just going to drown on thick, viscous, lubey goodness.
Okay. All right.
And it
What a
basically
way
they
to
say
go.
they basically say it just takes as long as the appropriate technical skill normally would, but I get to do it for free, and it counts as a critical success. And that they basically last as long as the DM deems appropriate. So, like, yeah, I get some time with it.
Alright.
It can last anywhere from for a few moments of success to as long as you want it to.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, given what you're doing, I don't think it's gonna take too long for you to like pop the lid off the bottle. You unplug his like one of his hoses from this thing, and you just shove the bottle and squeeze. Goopy, viscous fluids kind of go in. You are gonna lose. I'm gonna say you're gonna lose the bottle for this, but you take this dude out of the fight. He starts
Perfect.
like his version of choking, whatever that looks like, as this stuff can't like pass through his gills like water does.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I look down at
he's-
him and I say, "Death is my safe word," and I kick him one time.
Oh god. Fair enough. Captain Tandar, you are in here. You're in the pilot's like seat of the drill machine. The dome has been lifted off or pried off, and there's a guy with a cattle prod behind you ready to attack, but it's not his turn yet. It's your turn.
I would probably attack with my ray gun.
You got your ray guns taken away when you surrendered.
Oh, right. I forgot. And did I have a stick?
Yeah.
A rebar stick?
At least you would have had one before you got into the pilot's chair. If you would have taken it with you, then yeah. I don't know if you would have
strapped it to my
considered
back or
the-
something.
All right, yeah, cool.
So just hand it out. I would have wanted to be polite. So I'm gonna smack with this thing.
All right, so that's a melee weapon attack or weapon melee or.
See if
whatever.
I have that on any of my stuff. I don't. So it's probably just double.
Yeah. Your,
Double my strength.
brawn. It'll be double
Yeah.
your brawn, I think.
Well, this might not work. Let's see. No, that one didn't work.
All right. In that case, we're gonna move on. The tank, is going to. You're busy. I think it's gonna back up in order to get a shot on you, Tandar. Well, your drill machine. So it's gonna shoot at your drill machine twice. These things have 30, 16 hits. 19 is also going to hit. Let me double check the what you call it, armor of the drill here.
The armor is 40.
40. Okay. So that is going to be each of these things is reduced by 40. They do 70. So each of those is reduced to 30. So 30 and 16 is 46. 30 and 19 is 49. 49 and 46 is 80 plus 50, 95 damage total. Off of whatever you had left of that 300 from the last time this thing got damaged.
So I have 169 left.
Cool.
Nice.
Because of what I did for the hover tanks of like the 50-50 roll, I'll let you choose high or low and then roll a D100. Whatever you choose, your drill is still working. And if it's not what you choose, the drill malfunctions. Just
Oh,
like
did
this
it take
other
did it take a massive damage?
Yeah,
Did it take a
like
massive damage like the other
95.
ones?
So it has to be 80 or above.
Okay.
This took 95 damage.
Okay. I wasn't aware that was in one whole turn. I thought that was in each attack, but
Oh,
or
maybe it
like
is.
each
Hold on, let
individual
me
attack.
double-
It's each attack.
Is it
Yeah.
each attack? Okay. Then yeah, never mind. Your thing's
Okay. Cool.
fine. When in doubt, err on the side of the players. All right. That was the tank. That's gonna go to enemy 2. That dude is fleeing the scene
We
because
have a
he's
redemption for drama time.
So we're getting really close to the end here. The chat, I'm putting this on you, and my players, I'm putting it on you. Remind me, next week we will just start out with drama time, the community goal, just from the beginning. Because what that does, that channel point reward is, I put up a community goal. It's 10,000 points, and if you guys can get to the 10,000, then we do the drama time stuff. So we'll just start next session with that, since we only have like 10 minutes here. We're gonna be wrapping up really soon. The second enemy runs away. Abstracto, your healing thing goes is good. So I believe you heal one of those wounds for 36, I think is how healing works. Right? I might be wrong on that.
36, so I heal up to 97 because that was when I last took damage,
Let me
right?
just double check here.
Pretty sure that's how it works.
Hold on before you. Where are my notes? Alright, here we go. I know you can't be healed more than your
Wounds.
well, you can't be healed more than like your max HP. You can be healed.
Right.
You can be healed a number of times equal to your wounds,
Right.
but I don't think you can. I think the healing spills over, so it's not like you lose out on healing if that was like higher than a single wounds. Yeah. So you still heal the full 36,
Oh, okay.
I believe.
Alright, well,
Keep checking wounds, 6 first aid check, recover a number of body points equal to the skill result plus your bronze score. So 36, what's your brawn, Fran?
8.
So 36 plus 8. Yeah.
Awesome.
So whatever that is, 36 and 8.
44.
44. Yeah, you heal 44. So it's just, you keep track of the number of wounds that you receive.
Mhm.
That's the number of attempts that you can be healed. But
Okay.
it doesn't have to match up to like, oh, I'm healing this specific wound and that only did 15, so my 44 points is
Okay.
No, you still get healed that 44
Nice.
regardless of how much the specific wound was. Yeah. All right, so that is Abstracto's turn because that takes 2 full rounds, and then we go to Fran.
I'm gonna book it because I have a minus 40 to everything this turn, and I'm getting behind the group of slaves, and I just say, attack!
All right, give me I'll let you choose, but give me a persuade roll. I don't know, leadership, whatever, charm. I don't know.
We'll do charm. Is that still with a minus 40? Because of the dodge? Wait,
Yeah.
how's that work?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Any skill that you do, I think, is let me just double check.
To your actions equal to double your stated dodge. Yep.
Yeah.
Other than the penalty to your skill scores, you can take actions as normal. So yeah, it's gonna be at a 20%.
100%. Yeah, the tribal warriors, like, they really respect courageousness, and you're kind of not being courageous right now.
Yeah.
Do the opposite of courageous. Although that is a 69.
It is nice, isn't it?
Nice. One of them winks at you, but they don't do anything.
Alright, cool. I wink back.
He winks back.
Mm.
And yeah, that brings us quickly. We might be able to get through one last round here. Flash. All of the melee combatants are gone, either running away or choking and kind of out of the thing. You're kind of far away from the tank and the drill, but Captain Tandar is in melee combat with the last kind of person outside of the tank.
Okay, I have an idea. Depending on how disabled those two barrier vehicles look, is there any way I could jam the throttle and point one at the tank?
No, they're completely disabled from the drill.
All right. I'm gonna take a running leap with my baton at the one that is attacking and harassing our beloved commander.
Okay, make a to get over there quickly.
Yeah.
Is there like a make a jump? It's a brawn based skill.
Yeah.
Make a jump because you said you're leaping.
Okay.
That's easy enough.
I missed by 34.
You missed by 34. So yeah, you jump over you kind of slide over the hood, kind of stumble a little bit. You get up to the you can get within range to do one of two things. I don't think you can climb up there to attack the guy melee wise.
Okay.
So you could choose between throwing something, because you were within distance to throw something at him, or you could climb up onto this thing this round. You weren't fast enough or agile enough to get up and be able to attack him because of those obstacles in the way.
I'll throw my baton at the face of the one, at the helmet of the one that's messing with the captain.
So that would be a weapons throw ability.
All right, let me double check my score in that. I'm definitely more of a punchy dude, so I don't think it's great. Weapon, but tactical. Where's throw? Throw is a modifier of what?
It's
again?
it's at the top of the list. It's in like wait, where is it? No, it's at the bottom. It's above weapon, bow, and tracking.
Yeah, throw is its own thing. Sorry.
Oh, I
it's
see
not
it.
weapon
I
throw,
see
it's
it.
just its own thing.
Oh, I was looking for weapon. Yeah, my bad. I see it. It's 50. 50 is my, so I've got equal odds.
Nice.
There you
2.
go. 2. That is going to hit. So the cattle prod thing does 15 damage. They reduce that by 5 because it's energy, so 12. Well, you hit the guy for 12. Yeah. Kind of plonks him in the head. And Captain Tandar, that human prod lands in the compartment right next to you. So
I pick it up and stab
that guy.
I want to stab him with his own weapon. Well, not with his weapon, but his buddy's weapon.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So he's at 12. So that'd be that number. So this guy, that was the first hit that this guy's taken. He's still pretty good. So yeah, this is still gonna be a melee attack, which I know you said you weren't that great with. But it's
I'm
weapon
taking a look and
melee.
seeing. I thought I put something into melee, but maybe I didn't. Let me check. I'm looking through one final time. Okay, I don't see it. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna give it a shot.
Why does that not? I did that.
Why did that not play? Looks like she succeeds in a stabbing.
It was there. I heard it. I don't know if you guys could hear the sound effect, but it went through. I heard it. It's just lost in the mix of the music. There we go. Ooh, 13. That's gonna succeed, right? So 13, the 15, put the -5, so 23 damage on that guy as you cattle prod him. Alright, they're pretty beefy. These things aren't designed to hurt them, they're designed to hurt humans. That's why they're called human prods. But yeah, this is gonna go back to cannons on the ship. We gotta beat a 30 for this. That's 2 failures. This combat enemy 2. He is going to try and attack you with a cattle prod, Captain Tandar. 27. I actually think that might be a pretty powerful hit. The melee. Yes, that is a hit. So the 15, 27, 37 plus 5, 42, I think. 42 damage. on you, Captain Tandar, is this thing. If you could, you don't speak Hydronaut. He says something like as he like gurgles and bubbles in his like weird Hydronaut language.
That's uncalled for.
He
It's
like,
so gross.
yeah, he taunt. You know, he's taunting you somehow, and then he like zaps you with this thing. And coming up to the end of the round here, Abstracto and Fran, you'll be up after Abstracto.
Can I climb into the ship with the captain and the frog guy?
You'll have to make it over there. Currently, it is a bit of a ways away, and you are being blocked by the two disabled like hover carts that are being depicted here on on screen. So there are two of those things that are like on the ground and they're disabled and they're blocking, and you'd have to like climb up and over those, and then also run to her pod. So just like I had Flash do, give me a jump check to see if you can clear the obstacles with enough grace to be able to get over and climb up into the thing all in the same turn. If you fail this check, you'd be able to get over there and make a choice of either throwing something at the guy to attack or climbing up onto the drill. So that's a 38. What is your jump score?
32. Can I use a 0 dice to make it a success?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, then I do that.
Cool. So you can get up there and into melee to attack this guy with the use of your 0 die.
And do I attack next turn or this turn?
You used the 0 die to be able to do it this turn.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I miss him.
Oh man. Well, you are up there. You're in melee with Captain Tandar. You guys may be able to tag team this. But that is Fran. Let's bring it home, Fran. We're gonna have to continue this fight next week. But how do you want to end tonight's episode?
I'm gonna pick up a rebar and yeet it at the last guy standing.
Like a Hail Mary pass in a game of Astro Ball. You yeet that rebar.
I fail by 10.
Fail by 10. Is there someone in the chat who is not a player in this game? Would you want to provide a reroll to our lucky hero? Do what I want. God damn it. I have no power. I've lost control over my...
I fail. As is tradition.
See, should have been an actual audience member. That's what you get for breaking the rules. You yeet your rebar. It sails over, clanks onto the ground, falls short of the Hydronaut's hover tank, and as the hover tank redirects its cannons to point more directly at our two heroes on top of and / inside of the drill. Tune in next week when you'll hear a Hydronaut say,
Careful. I mean, that's just gross.
sorry.
You kiss your mother with that mouth?
Man.
I do. Not actually. I don't kiss my mom at all because that's weird. I'm 32. Why would I kiss my mother?
Fair.
I don't live in Orviston. God. That's a real deep cut for people who live in central Pennsylvania. But yes, let us go around the table yet one last time. Let the people know where they can find you during the week when you're not playing games here. Lovely substances used.
Hey, you. Yeah, look at me. Yeah, now we're talking. I'm Substances Used on Twitch. I play retro JRPG titles, as well as things like Dead by Daylight on my channel. Come by and hang out while we use some substances. Otherwise, you can catch me on some of my friends' channels doing some tabletop. Like on Mondays, I usually do Featherfall if someone's dog isn't having gastrointestinal distress. On
Oh no.
Tuesdays and Fridays, we play First Edition on Steam Steel Murder with the beautiful DM Burt. And on Saturdays, well, you're already here. Thank you for your time.
We'll bring it over to Frenden.
Hi, I'm Frenden. You can find me on the internet wherever Frendens are sold, which is everywhere because my ego is as huge as my presence. Sign up for everything. I regret nothing. Thanks for having me, Jeff.
Thank you for being here. Jentendo. What
Hi.
do you do when you're not here?
I sometimes stream on my channel, Jentendo on Twitch, but you can also find me in the aforementioned AD&D First Edition game. I'm also in an Aliens game that's happening tomorrow night on Free League
Nice.
Publishing channel. I'm finishing up Candlekeep Mysteries at some point. I know that that's occurring. I'm now on a Star Wars 5e game that happens on Thursdays. And coming up pretty soon, I'm going to be in a Symborum game that's going to be on Wednesdays.
Cool. That's a
On Free
lot
League
of
Publishing.
games.
I play a lot of games.
How
yes.
do you find the time?
I don't.
Fair enough.
finds her.
Abstracto. What do you do when you're not gracing us with your presence?
I'm totally not currently enslaved to color comics for someone.
You're not. No, because I'm paying you.
Yes.
Fair enough. By the way, feel free, just stream that stuff too. I don't really care about that. So if you want to stream, feel free to do that.
Do what I want.
Fair enough. Don't stream. I don't care. But yes, Abstracto is coloring my 2 short stories that are yet to be seen by the world. They are fantasy western short stories. They're going to be bundled with another one that I did. I colored myself, but I hate coloring, and that's why Abstract is helping me. One I did last year. I am expanding this into a complete series. We are going to be doing a Kickstarter here at the end of summer, maybe August, September-y, kind of somewhere around there. I need to finish drawing the last story, and I need to actually set up the Kickstarter and all that stuff. And because it's my first time, I want to take it easy, take it slow. We're going to be doing that later this year. So if you like Dungeons and Dragons or Lord of the Rings, and you want to see what a world like that would be like if the people were cowboys and gunslingers in the Old West, yeah, it's mostly the cowboys and gunslingers stuff, and definitely none of the shitty fucking native whitewashing, all that shit. None of that shit. Just those dudes in cowboy hats glaring at each other and shooting guns. It's kind of what I like out of that genre. So that's what this is it's D&D meets dudes at high noon shooting bullets at each other in the dusty streets of an old west town. If that sounds like something you're interested in, you can check me out during the week on Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays in the afternoons, Eastern time, here East Coast time. I will be working on that stuff, whether it is comic book pages proper, like actual panels and stuff, whether it's cover images, or last few streams I've been doing some branding things, like designing the actual logo that's going to go on the title of the actual comic. There's little various things like that, doing some character design work here and there, that kind of thing. So if you're interested in seeing how a comic book is made and comes together, that's what I'm going to be doing on my streams during the week coming up here. So yeah, thank you all for hanging out with us here tonight. Let's see if this new scene works as I try and find a a cool stream for us to raid into. I tried to set up a, I don't have it on my stream deck yet, but I tried to set up some end credits here. So let's see if this actually works. We'll be over here now. So the credits widget looks like it's not actually working. So that's fun. But I will. We're going to shoot it over to, and I don't know if she's gonna be ending soon or not. I think this is gonna be going for another hour, but I was on Stella Luna's channel earlier today doing a game of masks, and there was 3 sessions today. It's a whole marathon, and I would love to shoot it back over to Stella Luna and the amazing work that she does over on her channel. So thank you all for playing with us. One last wave goodbye from the cast here. Have a good night, everybody. Say hello to Stella for us, and we'll see you all next week. Rating.